where we are about an hour away from the weigh-in with David Benavidez taking on Caleb Plant for the WBC Super Middleweight World Championship. And who better to have on to talk about this fight is a man who probably known David Benavidez and the Benavidez family since they were very young, probably even before their boxing careers. Norm Frauenheim, 15rounds.com, longtime writer of the Arizona Republic. Norm, this fight, I know you've written extensively about Benavidez. This is almost like a personal fight for you in such a way because it's a big fight about a fighter who you've covered since he could basically crawl.
Yeah, I mean, I think they started coming into the gym at Central Boxing Gym at about the time Tyson showed up. And it's kind of interesting because Tyson has created this new nickname for him that is supplanting the other one, the Mexican Monster. And Tyson was at the news conference yesterday. But I also think that David is kind of represents this evolution of what had been a dormant and become a dormant boxing market in the wake of Michael Carvajal's great days. And you and I just saw this huge line to go in to see the weigh-in. I haven't seen that kind of a line since the big days of De La Hoya and stuff, which indicates to me that and most of those people I think are from West Side Phoenix, which is where the Benavidez brothers, one now is a movie star, the older brother at Creed 3, and David, who if he does all that he has noisily promised to do, he could become the boxing's next superstar.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, you kind of said it just now. You feel that this is the biggest fight with a Phoenix area fighter since the Carvajal Gonzalez days?
No doubt. But you know, you do such a good job on boxing, and we all know that we've watched the market suddenly evolve over the last couple of years. The Benavidez David now is the face of that, but there are the Ramos boys, Abel and Jesus, who are on the card, by the way, tomorrow night. And now there's Elijah Garcia. So there's a lot of names. There's a lot of interesting talent there. So, you know, the market is now, it's one of the big cities in America, but the Mexican American demographic is huge. I know that Jose Benavidez Sr. he has his boys in Seattle now, and he did that because he wanted to get off the streets. But he now is talking about moving back to Phoenix. In Seattle, there's not the talent base, but he knows if he had a gym in Phoenix, there would be a lot of kids that would walk through the doors.
What you mentioned, we mentioned this about the Phoenix angle, and you mentioned the Ramos guys. Is it ironic or just circumstance? You think all three of these kids are on this show?
Well, I actually think that Steven Espinoza is he knows this about the Phoenix market, and interestingly enough, he just bought a house in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows how.
Don't be giving out his address.
Okay. But he's very well aware of that it's almost counterintuitive because the boxing markets are struggling everywhere, but Phoenix is the prime example of how it is not.
So let's just get right down to it. When the two guys square off, Plant and Benavidez, on Saturday night, what are we looking forward? What are we looking towards? What do we want to see early? I think a lot of people are saying that Plant's going to be tough early. He's going to use his boxing skills and maybe win some rounds early. But the pressure, the size of Benavidez is going to be the difference. A lot of people are actually kind of ones that aren't picking Plant to win are basically saying Benavidez 9, 10, 11, maybe.
Yeah, that's the conventional wisdom, and I share that view that David Benavidez will walk him down. But I don't discount a couple of things. I think Caleb Plant is very clever, and I really like his new trainer, Redmond.
It's my guy from Philly.
Yeah, no, he's very insightful, and he knows what this fight is about. And just over the last couple of days, you can see there's a certain psychological strategy going here. They're trying to get under David Benavidez' skin. They want him angry, and Plant is not. He's backed off, if anything, with these trash talk exchanges. I think he has. That said, I am concerned about the fight itself, because if I look at Plant, I think he's smart enough to know that my only way to win this fight is to make it ugly. Clinch. He cannot let Benavidez get on a roll. He simply can't. And the issue here for him, as we've seen, Plant get tired. David Benavidez does not get tired.
Well, he had, I mean, again, I'm just playing a little devil's advocate here. Caleb Plant is by far the best fighter I think David Benavidez has fought. David Benavidez is not the best fighter that Caleb Plant has fought.
Right.
In the sense that Canelo at the time was the number one pound for pound fighter in the world when they did fight. So Plant, I don't think is really going to be in all the moment. I don't think Benavidez is going to be as well. But fights like this, the pay-per-views, all the extra attention, the cameras, the stuff that we Plant believes that play. That was actually the one question I asked him during our media scrum the other day. He thinks little stuff like that does make an advantage.
It may,
he's been through it before with the Alvarez.
Yeah, and I've had a couple of conversations over the last couple of days. I think David has never been in this position. He's 26 years old. It's very easy to buy into what people are how great people are telling you are. And as much as I like the Mexican Monster label and the fact that it came from Tyson, if you're 26 years old, you're unbeaten. And people are telling you this, and then Mike Tyson,
it's a stamp of approval.
You're essentially being called the Mexican Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
that can get to your head, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, and it's also a stamp of approval.
It's a stamp of approval. But if I'm his father, Jose Senior's a trainer, I'm telling him, don't listen to this garbage. But keep your eyes on Caleb Plant.
Well, I know I just came back from the sports book. I bet basketball, not betting on boxing.
This is a great handicapper here.
3-0 last night in the NCAA tournament. If you had $1 or $2 to bet and you were going to walk, about 1,000 feet behind us to the sports book, where's Norm's money going on? And I think I know where it's going, but maybe what specifically?
Right now, well, as a former Phoenix Suns 10-year NBA writer, my money, I'm thinking about placing a bet on the Sixers.
Oh, don't do that.
To win the NBA title. I'm worried about the Suns.
They've broken my heart every year except for 1983. So,
well, we share, as people from different cities, we do share the Barclay experience. So,
sure do. So, what do we see here Saturday night? I mean, when it comes down to it,
I think David gets a little frustrated early. Plant tests his poise. We'll see how much of it is there. I think he will recover his poise, but I predict there'll be a couple of rocky, frustrating moments in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, and then he knocks him out in the 10th.
Is this, and the question I asked David, you see this as especially in our world, David Benavidez is a star. Yeah. Is this a superstar making performance for David Benavidez?
Yeah, I think it is. It would really, really, really enhance his credentials in the Mexican-American community. But to me, the Canelo prospect is interesting. I know one of the traditional rivalries in that particular word is Puerto Ricans versus Mexican fighters. But the truth is, the real rivalry is Mexican-American versus Mexican. Oscar De La Hoya versus Julius Cesar Chavez. It could be recreated here.
And obviously, it seems like Canelo, he's going to do this fight in May 6th against John Ryder, and all indications is he's going to come back against Bivol in the rematch.
Right.
So we talk in a year from now, maybe that May date.
I hate this discussion, by the way. I think everybody who's a fight fan hates this discussion because we can see where this might lead.
The thing about Canelo, though, if he feels that it's something that he wants to do, he doesn't let TV networks, he doesn't let promoters, he doesn't. If it's something he wants to do, it's going to get. I mean, he'll do it.
Well, I mean, the one thing I like about the Ryder fight, I think I think he blows Ryder away. If he doesn't, then then he's in trouble. But
Right,
the thing I like about it is that it's in Mexico.
Yeah,
and those fans are going to be there, and I think those fans want to see him fight David Benavidez.
Yeah, but we shall see.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. 10th round stoppage, Norm. 10 good minutes with you here on this
fun.
podcast.
That
Yeah.
was fun.
So we will see. Hopefully, we have everything going on. Showtime pay-per-view, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. David Benavidez takes on Caleb Plant for the WBC Interim Super Middleweight Championship. An outstanding undercard. Joey Spencer against Jesus Ramos. Cody Krell against Abel Ramos. Jose Valenzuela. It's funny. Everything's kind of tied together. So we have Benavidez, we got the 2 Arizona kids, and then the one fight that not an Arizona kid, Jose Benavidez Sr. trains Jose
Valenzuela, a kid who grew up in Los Mochis and walked into the gym there. But if the Benavidez do in fact move back to Phoenix, I wouldn't be surprised if Jose Valenzuela.
So it's going to be a Benavidez Arizona night here. It's a Norm Frauenheim special. Almost.
Yeah. It's been a long time over these many years, but I always believed. Frankly, I always believed in the market, and it's one of the reasons I continue to write about boxing. Which, I have to. I'm not trying to blast my ex-employers, but they kind of walked away from it for a while, but they're trying to get back to it.
That most papers. Norm, thank you for a few minutes. Can't wait for the fight tomorrow night. The arena is about, what do you say, about 100 feet outside this door, 200 feet?
Yeah, right in this room. And they're going to do the weigh-in at the theater down there.
Because real fighters are in there tonight, the WWE.
Oh, there you go.
That's why they can't do that there tonight.
There you go.
Big SmackDown card right before WrestleMania. But that's another show for another day.
Okay.
Norm,